major part of his life. The clothing he now wore was his usual when on the job: jeans, dress shirt open at the collar. Today's was navy blue, and a dark checkered sports coat, respectful, to put offerers and witnesses at ease. On his feet, black Echo slip-ons, which were comfortable and offered good traction, just in case. The businessman, of course, was interested in teasing more out of Colter Shaw than just his appearance, but all he got in this department, for the time being, was straight posture, constant eye contact, no smiles or frowns, no small talk, just undistracted attention to every word Matthews said. The message was the intended one. I'm still listening, and I'm taking the situation very seriously. Matthews seemed to relax into confidence. Like most offerers, he didn't get that Shaw was sizing him up too. Shaw asked, "Did she, Evelyn's friend, tell you anything about where she went?" "No. She said Evie'd called, and that was it. She didn't pick up again when I called back, once or twice." Or dozens of times. Matthews would have called until the friend blocked his number. "Tell me how she disappeared," Shaw said. "Details." "Evie went to an artist's retreat outside of Chicago, Schaumburg, last month. Weekend thing. She went to some retreat almost every month, all around the country." His lips tightened. "Sunday night, she didn't come home. She was supposed to, but she didn't." "She drove?" "That's right." "You've been married a year?" 13 months. Was our anniversary July 10th. "Phone?" Shaw asked. "Not in service." Shaw asked, "Private eye?" "Cost me more than I could afford. Got me zip." With a few exceptions, PIs were great for background security checks and poring over computer records to see if your fiancé had ever poisoned a prior husband or misbehaved more than one usually misbehaves in Cabo. The investigation part of the job title, as in pounding pavement, usually wasn't a stellar performance. That explained why, 2 weeks ago, Matthews had posted a reward, $10,000, in an Indianapolis newspaper and online for information about Evelyn Fontaine's whereabouts. Shaw's business associates in Florida had spotted the announcement and relayed the info to Shaw, who happened to be in Chicago finishing another job. The $10K wasn't much for a missing spouse believed to have been kidnapped, but for Shaw, the reward was never about the money. It was a flag flying over a problem that, so far, no one else had been able to solve, the sort he lived for. Colter Shaw was restless in mind as well as restless in body. He now asked the standard question: had anyone else been in touch about the reward? Yes, Matthews said. Some people had contacted him, but it was clear they had no helpful information and were simply hoping for a windfall. There'd been no calls in the past week. This was a pattern Shaw had seen again and again. Matthews now opened his wallet and slipped out a picture. Shaw had already seen some shots online, but this was a far better image. A well-done formal portrait that depicted a woman in her late 20s, with a long, sweeping neck and an angular face. Fragile in some ways, confident in others. She was more striking than beautiful. Her dark blonde hair was piled high atop her head in carefully plotted disarray. Her eyes were blue, but toward the violet end of the spectrum, and her smile was mysterious. Given her profession, Shaw wondered if the crafted crescent lips were an unconscious homage to the Mona Lisa, or perhaps a very conscious one. Shaw nodded to the expensive Mercedes AMG that Matthews had arrived in. "I looked you up. You own an industrial equipment dealership. How wealthy are you?" Matthews blinked. "I need to know if you're a ransom target." Usually such demands come early in a disappearance, but not always. "Maybe a year or so ago I was. But it's been tough lately. With all the tariffs and trade wars, our revenues have dropped like a rock."